Okay, lesson 2. So learning objective for today. To understand how to structure a 12-mark question. So we're going to be looking at how to structure this and how many CIDDH paragraphs you should, as a guide, be writing. Our extra challenge: to ensure that your response demonstrates an excellent knowledge and understanding of how drama and theatre is developed and performed. This extra challenge is very similar, or it comes from one of the top band criterias for the 12-mark question. And our literacy focus is to read and understand the extract. So I'd like you in a minute to read through this extract and understand what is going on. Okay, so I would like you to take some time to read through this extract. I would like you to write down these 4 questions I'm going to read out for you. So these questions I would like you to write down on a piece of paper or in your book are these. Number 1, how did the character of Mickey interact with Linda? So I'll say that again. How did the character of Mickey interact with Linda? Then the second question, what effect did this create? So write that down. The third question, how did the character of Mickey use performance space to interact with Linda? I'll say that again. How did the character of Mickey use performance space to interact with Linda? And then the fourth question, what effect did this create? So what effect did this create? So with these questions, I would like you to read through the extract and make notes and answer these questions after you have read this extract. So when you have made notes on this extract, what I'd like you to do is take some time. This is not under any timed conditions or anything. I would like you to get used to the structure first. So I would like you to write 3 CIDDH paragraphs on your response to this question. Take some time, making sure you are focusing on just the outlined extract. Okay, lesson 3. What I would like you to do, without moving to the next slide, there's no point doing this if you're going to do that, just test yourself. I would like you to try and think of what are the names of the different stage positions. See if you can think of them all and see how quickly you can do it. If you're stuck, or if you cannot think of any more, or if you think you have got them all, move on to the next slide. But don't move on to the next slide before giving it a go. You're only cheating yourself. So just give yourself a little challenge, see how many you can remember, and then when you've finished, or when you think you can remember them all, move on to the next slide. So did you get them all? I hope you did. If not, they are all here on the slide. It's really important when you're talking about the performance space and interaction that you must use key terminology such as these different stage positions. It's really important that you embed these words into your understanding so you can use them in your answers. So the question that we are going to be looking in this lesson is as follows. You are performing the role of Linda. Focus on the outlined part of the extract. As always, don't forget those top tips, only focusing on the outlined part of the extract. Explain how you and the actor playing Mickey might use the performance space and interact with each other to show their strained relationship. So there's a key word there at the end. How they are showing their strained relationship. Keep referring to that. So as you can see, it's asking you to talk about the performance space. So using those key words that you wrote down earlier, and also interaction. So let's think of some words that you can use when explaining interaction. Maybe take some time to write some down. I could give you some examples such as eye contact, gesture, proxemics, voice, movement, stillness. There are some, and obviously you can expand on them. For instance, voice, that's very generic. Think about how you could use the voice in a different way when interacting. So write down different words that you can use when you're explaining interaction. And when you've done that and explained them, what I would like you to do is spend some time, again, not in time conditions, to write down 4 CIDDH paragraphs that answers this question. So you're talking about the performance space and the interaction with Mickey, showing their strained relationship. Okay, lesson 4. I hope you're all doing okay and you're starting to gain more of an insight with this 12 marker. So this lesson's objectives are to be able to understand what needs to be included in a 12 mark response. Hopefully from the top of your head you can start to think about some elements of what will need to be included already. Our extra challenge, to have precise details provided throughout the explanation. And our literacy focus, to use key terminology in your answer. Should always be doing that. I would like you to read through this extract, and whilst reading, I would like you to focus on 3 questions. And with these questions, I would like you to write your response after you've read it, or whilst you're reading it. So the 3 questions are as follows. What is happening in the extract? This will obviously help with your context section of the CIDDH. So first question, what is happening in the extract? Question 2, what was Willy Russell's intention when creating this scene? So what was Willy Russell's intention when creating this scene? Question 3, as a performer, what would you want to highlight in this scene? So just write those answers down when you've finished reading the extract. And then when you have done that, I would like you again to have a go at answering this 12 mark question. I would like to write down your responses to this without time conditions again, and I would like you to write around, well, no less than 3 CIDDH paragraphs on this question. Okay, so before we move on to lesson 5, I would like you to look back at your answer from lesson 4. What I would like you to do with this is to get a highlighter, get a few different coloured highlighters, maybe, well, just get 2 different coloured highlighters. And I'd like you to highlight when you have used the following words. These words are eye contact, gesture, proxemics, voice, movement, and stillness. I would like you to highlight when or if you have used them in your answer. And then get a different coloured highlighter to highlight when you have used the word comedy. The reason why you should be using this word is because it is a key word in the question. So highlight these and to see where you have used them, and hopefully this will help you to highlight where you have used these or where you should be using them. Okay, so this question I would like you to have a go in timed conditions. So approximately you should be taking around 15 minutes to write a 12 marker question. So I would like you to take some time first of all to read through this extract, ensuring you look through the top tips from earlier in the PowerPoint. Just go over them once again. And then I would like you to spend 15 minutes, see if you can time yourself, answering this 12-mark question. And then when you've done that, what would be a really good idea is to finish this, save it, even if you've written it down, if you've handwritten it, or if you've written it down on a document, and send it to one of your peers in your class. And then I would like you to try and mark their work and to see what grade you would give them for their work. See if you can do that.